You know, I got to tell you, the more and more I see that, the angry and angrier I get. And I know that Heather Hansen is very angry. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good. Good to talk to you. Yeah, as we mentioned, there was a resignation today. Undersecretary Robert Petzel resigning, Undersecretary for Health at the VA. So many people are calling for the resignation of Shinseki. And I know that you wrote a very powerful piece about how angry you are. You see medical malpractice all the time in your business.
Well, and that's the thing here. If this were private companies, that private hospitals, private healthcare providers who were providing this type of care, it would be completely unacceptable. And the accountability that we see in the private sector often comes from lawsuits. The unfortunate reality is the type of suits that are allowed against the VA just don't draw attorneys, and so they're not filed, and there's no accountability. I think Representative Fisher said the same thing, that that's the problem with the VA system, is there's just no accountability.
Well, what do you mean the type of lawsuits that are allowed to get? Why is it limited, and what are they limited to?
Well, when you sue the United States, it's under a different system. So first of all, if the VA, if a patient at the VA has a complaint, they first have to go through an administrative process, and that takes 6 months. And only after their claim is denied can they file a lawsuit in federal district court under the Federal Tort Claims Act. And you can't get punitive damages, so you can't get anything to, punitive is to punish the wrongdoer. Sometimes that's the biggest part of the damages. The attorneys are only allowed 25%, which should be plenty, but many plaintiffs' attorneys are not going to take a case unless they get a full third. So there's a lot of things, and also it's the same statute of limitations. It's the same limit on time to file as it is in a regular case, which is 2 years. So take away that 6-month time, and you've got a limited amount of time to find a lawyer who's willing to take it when they can't get punitive damages. It takes away a lot of the motivation on the part of the attorneys to take these types of cases.
You make a great point in your piece also, Heather, about outrage, and you talk about the things that outrage us as a nation based on media coverage anyway, because I'm sure if you do a poll, more people would be upset about this than if they knew everything about it than Donald Sterling. But you talk about Donald Sterling, and you talk about Boko Haram, which is outrageous, kidnapping those girls. But these are veterans who fought to make it possible for you and I to talk, and anybody that's hearing us to hear us, and we shouldn't have to describe to people what veterans stand for and what they have accomplished and what they do, and they should have the best of everything. And yet, I bet you because of the media coverage, and I bet you because of complacency, there's not much concern out there for this whole issue.
That's right, Steve, and it ebbs and flows. In 2004, I think Diane Sawyer did a piece on the veterans, and there's outrage, and then I guess people just can't maintain it for long enough. There's another show that did something in 2005. There was a problem here in Philadelphia in 2009 with regard to some radiation that was being done for prostate cancer. And so people are aware of it. It's something that's in the water cooler talk for a period of time, and then it fades away. And if you think about the soldiers who are sent to try to save those girls, and the fact that when they come back, there's a chance that they're going to be at a VA hospital and not get the care that they deserve, we should be more outraged about it, and we should be raising awareness and keeping it raised so it doesn't just die off again.
No, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more with you. And I want you to hear something that came from the White House Chief of Staff McDonough talking to Jake Tapper yesterday, and this outraged me almost as much as hearing Shinseki testify. I think McDonough was worse. White House Chief of Staff, and here's what Jake Tapper got so frustrated with him. Here in Cut 24 is how the exchange went.
How many stories like this, how many letters like this, how many dead veterans do you need before somebody asks the question within the White House, maybe this guy isn't the best steward of these veterans?
The question, Jake, is, are we doing everything every day to get the veterans the care and the opportunities that they deserve?
But you're not. This letter was sent a year ago, and you guys ignored it.
And we have been working aggressively to ensure that not only is healthcare expanded, opportunities made more ready to our vets, but that people are held to account, as Rick is doing in this case. We will continue to do that.
And that was, question after question. That was answer after answer. Everything's going well, and if we find anybody to hold accountable, we will. But very, very, aggravating and frustrating. And you heard Tapper get frustrated.
Well, right, because he's talking about holding people to account now when the media eye is on them. But what was happening years ago, last year when those letters were exchanged? It goes back to the lack of accountability. Who is making sure? They're so busy making sure that they're following those wait times, that they're cooking the books and focusing on the wrong things. It's just the whole system needs to be remade. And I don't know where the start is, but it's got to be done because our veterans deserve better.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. Thanks for writing the piece, and thanks for coming on, Heather.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Take care.
Take care. Heather Hansen, ladies and gentlemen, healthcare attorney, expert on medical malpractice, and very passionate about this issue. And yeah, I mean, she understands why it's so difficult for people to sue who have been victimized in this way, and that's a great angle and a very important angle above and beyond the angle that I'm qualified to cover, and that's the angle of outrage. And the angle of demanding, as the politicians are, that something be done, and that heads roll and resignations occur. All right, folks, we're coming back, and we're going to take a look at Clinton and Benghazi. Don't miss it.